Hello beautiful people, Carl here from Games, Brains and Headbanger Life, gbhblofficial for short. And it's album review time as the Australian post-rock band We Lost the Sea will release their 5th studio album, A Single Flower, on July 4th, 2025 via Birds Roll in Australia, Dunk, Europe, Translation Lost in the USA and New Noise in China. Now, I don't think it's arguable these days that We Lost the Sea are one of the finest post-rock bands in the entire world. It's certainly not a secret anymore, yet it's been 5 years since their last album, Triumph and Disaster, and the post scene has grown to such an extent that it's seemingly kind of bloated. In most cases, the thought of having to consume even more would be kind of off-putting. Except this is We Lost the Sea, and there's always room for what they have to offer, especially when the music is so much more than just post-rock. And it's impossible to talk about this new album without focusing on how it makes you feel. And trust me, you will feel. 6 tracks long, but 6 behemoth tracks. A Single Flower is We Lost the Sea at the most textured. Not only experimenting with post as a genre, but experimenting with their definition of it. While there is much here that feels post-rock, it shimmers and shines in unexpected ways, especially when the contrast between dramatic, miserable melody meets energized, vibrant rock speed and intensity. The word that constantly comes to mind when listening to this record is fascinating. I don't think there's a band in the world capable of grabbing the attention and holding it so significantly while keeping things so simple and subtle as We Lost the Sea do on If They Had Hearts, where a piece of raw melody is played over and over again on a guitar for over 2 minutes. Then, bit by bit, more instruments join in, the tempo heats up and it becomes a much noisier beast altogether. There's an urgency at the end that is as terrifying as it is enthralling, and then, just like that, it dissipates, and for around 2 minutes, it drifts away in ambient style. For most bands, that would have been their album epic, but We Lost the Sea are not most bands, and they brazenly push the post-rock bar to even greater heights where they dance with death. A gorgeous piece filled with drama, yet not to the extent that it overshadows everything else. Across its 10+ minute runtime, it creates a turbulent level of emotion that will have most simply sitting back and marveling at it. It is so special, but so is everything here is black and blinding, an inspiring effort. At a creative high and showing off more of their experimental side while taking the listener on an elaborate journey. This is We Lost the Sea at their darkest, but also at their lightest. The band, even as an instrumental band, know how to express themselves, and this is one of their clearest messages, being a war cry against evil and delivered in an electrifying fashion, even if it is more of a grower than an instant hit. It is post-rock though. We Lost the Sea's brand of post-rock, so it should go without saying that there can be no one and done. This is music that demands time, patience and multiple plays, rewarding the listener in so many ways, least of all the fact that it makes you feel. Speaking of feeling though, Bloom, Memorations at First Light is a staggering showcase of peaks and valleys. We Lost the Sea taking us to the heights of heights in delightfully heavy fashion, then dropping us down to the lowest of melodically charged lows. It is enough to give you butterflies, and while the ascents can be sudden, there's nothing to fear. This is one of the most comforting tracks on the album. I want to say it's my favourite track on the record, but The Gloaming is next, and it features the incomparable Sophie Trudeau of Godspeed You, Black Emperor. If that wasn't enough, there's also Blood Will Have Blood, and that is a very special track. Let's get into both, as much as this review can. The former is only around 3 minutes long, which is absurdly short for this band, Bud is staggeringly cinematic in tone and rightfully puts the violin of Sophie Trudeau front and centre. Trust me, if you've not cried yet, you will here. It's 3-ish minutes of beauty. As for the latter though, it's a mighty closing track, over 27 minutes in length, and as heart-wrenching as it is heartwarming, as vigorous as it is versatile, brazenly buoyant at times, sullen at others, and fascinatingly intense throughout. It's unforgettable and feels a quarter of its length. Words fail me, really. I hope I've expressed the determined detail that We Lost to See have put into this album, and how, at its core, it is an album with an incredible amount of feeling in it. That there, to me, ensures everyone will get something different out of it. But I suspect, regardless, that all will be in agreement that it is so special nonetheless. Every time this band releases an album, they change the post-rock world. And that continues to be the case with A Single Flower. You need to hear it. It's as simple as that. It is out on July 4th, 2025 via Bird's Robe in Australia, Dunk in Europe, Translation Loss in the US of A, and New Noise China. You got any thoughts that you want to share? You know what to do. Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.